Weather Scope.
A storm system moving up the eastern seaboard is really kicking up the wind and going to give us quite a bit of rain. Good afternoon, I'm Janetta Jones.
And I'm Rich Johnson. Some of that rain has been especially heavy into Pennsylvania. We'll have a look at the radar in just a second. But first of all, some scenes from the coast of southern New England where we've had some gusty winds and the surf is being kicked up a little bit. Along the Massachusetts coast this morning, the waves already had begun to kick up because of the gusty winds with this storm system. These pictures are from Scituate, south of Boston. Winds gusting to 40 miles per hour expected today, and waves could be as high as 12 feet later this afternoon. Well, as we check out the northeast, a bit of a split today, so to speak, meaning that the low pressure center is sort of uncoupled from the main low, so we have this huge area of moisture here. Here's the split of some drier air. Then we have the upper air low with all of the clouds and the rain, even some snow with it. So you see the situation over toward the southern coast of New England still being brushed by some rain, but at the present time it is just not that heavy. You can see some of the showers out toward the Cape, Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, also just to the south of Montauk. Most of the rain that has been into western Pennsylvania, right on over to the southwest of Pittsburgh, some of the heaviest totals. Doppler radar has estimated that over toward southwestern Blair County, we're looking at maybe 6 or 7 inches of rain. So a huge amount of rain has come on in. Heavier rains right now making their way west, actually east to west. It doesn't happen this often to see this, but west of DuBois, you're heading along 80, you'll see some very heavy rain also in and out of the tunnels across southern Pennsylvania through the mountains. Down to Baltimore and D.C., lots of heavy rain still coming up toward the nation's capital. Over to Baltimore, we have something of a breakout across the Chesapeake, then some more rain will be making its way in from the eastern shore. Over to Richmond, starting to dry out some, but from Fredericksburg all the way up to D.C., it is going to be a slow ride today due to all the rain. Even some snow touching the peaks of the mountains. I suspect Snowshoe has seen a little bit of snow today. Mount Davis, Pennsylvania, seen some snow too. Over to the western United States, we have another storm and some more rain, and I don't know why that was there, so I'll go right to the southeast. Sometimes things like that happen. Into the southeast, we have lots of 50s today. Still sort of cool. Quite mild though around Miami. We are looking at lots of clouds. Low clouds, the gray appearance means low clouds here, and we do have the jet stream bringing some clouds in across Texas. The rain in the south, mostly very light. Now, with more about the west, here's Janetta.
It's another sunny, warm day in the northern high plains. Enjoy it while you can, because the region will undergo a major temperature swing over the next couple of days due to a system coming out of Canada. And if you're in the Pacific Northwest, you're facing a rainy end to the week. Light showers are falling again today in Seattle, Washington. The scenario is much the same as yesterday. Light rain on and off. Temperatures on Thursday were above average with highs in the upper 50s. Highs today will be in the low to mid 50s. So not much of a cool down, but we are going to see some clouds and also the rains upon you in Washington State, Oregon, on into Boise, Idaho, and parts of Montana. That's all in association with our new little frontal boundary that's starting to take a nosedive here across the northwest. Now into southern California, southern Arizona, even into New Mexico. Things look pretty nice, actually. No problems for you if you're out and about doing some traveling. Have a good time. But we do have the cloudiness here across the northwest. In association with that, we have some scattered showers for Washington State, Oregon, on into Idaho. Boise's reporting rain, so is Seattle and Walla Walla, and on back into Spokane. Parts of Montana are getting into the rain, and I'll tell you what, this is going to be bringing down some much colder air out of Canada. And as it does so, you can expect the possibility of some snow to be on the increase for parts of Montana and eventually shifting on down into the Central Plains and the Rockies. This is going to be a big weather maker over the next few days. Temperatures are already chilly in Cutbank, 32. We're looking at 50s ahead of that frontal boundary, so a little bit of contrast there. 48 in Seattle, Washington currently, 61 in Salt Lake City, and in the 60s for you in Las Vegas, about 72 in Phoenix, Arizona. Now let's check on the temperatures across this particular region. I mentioned that you're going to have a very mild day across the central and northern plains. Yeah, Test for today. By tomorrow, that front will move on through and bring in the much, much colder air. So prepare yourself for a big-time change as far as the temperatures go. So that's the way things stand across the west. Obviously, some scattered showers here, and we have nice high-pressure system in control for much of the central United States. But that is going to give way to this system as it pulls down the precipitation potential and the colder air. And you'll see that later on this afternoon, actually, already starting to be found across Montana. And do expect some breezy conditions, too. Okay, we're still going with the possibility for rain across southern New England. In addition to that, you'll see quite a bit of wind in association with this. Coastal flood watches in effect and the possibility for some really windy conditions right along the coast. Okay, here we go with that dip in that frontal boundary by Saturday morning, and the snow starts to dip